Namaste and welcome. It's the big final. It's the final of the ICC Champions Trophy, Sunday, 9th of March, 2:30 p.m. at the Dubai International Stadium. It is Bharat versus New Zealand, India versus New Zealand, an unbeaten India in rip-roaring form, and they've been a juggernaut, a force to reckon with, and clearly the best of the sides in this tournament so far, and who have coasted largely through most of their matches and convincing victory even against Australia, although it was a 4-wicket win and there was 11 balls to spare, but India looked in control right through. Some scintillating performances both with bat and ball, and in fact if you look at that batting order, almost all of the players have been among the runs or they've had a look in the run-up to the final. The bowlers have been among the wickets, and be it the spinners or be it Mohammad Shami himself, compared to the Kiwis, who have lost to India in the run-up through the group stages, but they were in their element against South Africa. A comprehensive 50-run win. Who will be the difference between the two sides? That's the big question. Will it be the captaincy of Rohit Sharma vis-a-vis the acumen of Mitchell Santner, who's actually growing into that role as a captain? Will it be the batsmanship of a Rachin Ravindra pitted against the best in the business, that is Virat Kohli, who is just about 50-odd runs away from becoming the second highest run scorer in one-day cricket? And look at the road to the finals. 23rd of February, Bharat beat Pakistan by 6 wickets. Their next match, they were convincing. They beat New Zealand, the Kiwis, by 44 runs in the group stage on the 2nd of March. And then in the semi-finals, they defeated Australia by 4 wickets. So it is a convincing, straightforward run, brilliant run. New Zealand, they defeated Pakistan by 60 runs, but they ran into India where they lost. They defeated Bangladesh by 5 wickets in the group stage, and then they lost to India by 44 runs. India got a comfortable win even against Bangladesh in the group stages. But then they came into their elements in the semi-final. That victory, that score that they put on board was something way beyond the Proteas' reach, and it was an unbeaten 100 by Miller towards the end that actually took them to a semblance of respectability, that they were just 50 runs short. Otherwise, they would have been about 125 runs short, the way the entire team, the South Africans, collapsed there. So once again, making it into the knockout stages, making it into the semi-finals, the Proteas, but then stumbling at those final hurdles. And when they shake that off, one waits and watches. Mohammad Shami, the highest wicket scorer for India with 8 wickets so far. Best bowling figures, 5 for 53 versus Bangladesh. There are other performers in Varun Chakravarti, who's taken wickets. Like I said, our bowlers have been among the wickets. We've also, but on the other hand, got Akshar Patel, who's got 5 wickets. So there is contributions right across. Let's go across to Vimal Kumar and let's go across to our guests and then deep dive into these numbers. Because on the other hand, as for the team news, Ritinder Sodhi is with us. Chetan Nanda is with us after a long time. Ritinder, good to have you with us. Chetan Nanda is also with us. Very good. Let's just quickly get into the conversation of the match. पहले विमलवा से जान लेते हैं what is happening on ground. Matt Henry का shoulder कैसा है? He's taken 10 wickets for the Kiwis. He's one of their best bowlers. Is he likely to play the final, or is it still dodgy? Because then you will have someone like a toughie coming in who's not had a single match through this tournament.
Thank you so much, Anand. As far as New Zealand is concerned, this is not a great news because if you look at Matt Henry has been the most successful bowler, more so against India. Last match he played against India and got 5 wickets. Is a great threat. The New Zealand coach today confirmed that they are not too sure at this season, but it's still 48 hours to go, so they are hopeful. But right now, the kind of support Indian team is getting, enthusiasm you can sense. Just behind me, see, Indian team is just about to come in the ICC Cricket Academy for their first practice session after that Australia game, and you can see the enthusiasm. All the people, almost nearly, I can see that nearly 50-60 odd people are still there waiting for the autographs or selfie if they are lucky. The good thing is that sometimes when Indian players come and they are not always in a hurry. Obviously, it's not possible to satisfy everyone or make everyone's dream come true, but they try to accommodate as much as they can. So
Will they
in
come?
just
In how much time are they expected? So through the course of
they
our
are supposed to
conversation,
come in next half an hour.
oh,
So
next half an
possibly
hour.
when the show is on, we might see the Indian cricket team
Good
just
time. So
going past us.
okay. So the bus will pass right from where you are standing, and let's see whether or not we get some semblance. Ritinder Sodhi, how have you seen Bharat's performance so far, and what are you expecting in the final? Is it going to be a repeat of the group stages, or are the Kiwis going to be perhaps in a different mind frame this time around?
Look, India looks very strong. They look very strong on paper, and the best thing is that everybody is clicking. To win a premier tournament, you need to have your 11 blazing all cylinders, and it is happening with India. Our bowling is prospering, our batting looks a dominant force. Our experienced players like Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma seems to be in sublime form. So my heart says it has to be in India, but Anand, at the same time, it's a finale. It's a pressure cooker scenario. And when you come out of league stage and play these knockout matches, then the ball game is different. And I'm sure whichever team is mentally more tougher, they should take the Champions Trophy. But at the moment, if you ask me honestly, which team has the nose ahead, it has to be India.
Because they're undefeated. They were undefeated in 2023 also, Chaitanya Nanda. फिर फाइनल में एक ट्रेविस हेड के साथ हमारा हो गया पंगा हो गया एंड देन वी आल्सो गॉट द टॉस रॉन्ग समवेयर देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु बिलीव रोहित शर्मा टॉस हार जाए बेटर है आप यू डोंट चूज सामने वाला चूज करने तो अपना बेटर होता है वी यू नो टॉस हार के मैच जीत जाता है विल टेक दैट
यस बिकॉज आनंद एज यू सेड मुझे लगता है कि इस विकेट के ऊपर इतना ज़्यादा टॉस का वेरी नहीं कर रहा बिकॉज ये विकेट वैसे भी थोड़ा स्लोअर साइड पे है इंडिया को शूट करता है इंडिया हैव फोर स्पिनर्स इन देयर लाइन ऑफ और बेस्ट बात क्या है कि सारे स्पिनर्स की क्वालिटी अलग है दे आर डिफरेंट बॉलर्स इन टू ईच अदर इफ़ यू सी कुलदीप he can spin the ball, Jadeja who can bowl very quickly, finish the overs, create pressure. Akshar Patel again is a different bowler who can bowl slow, fast, mix up the pace. And Varun Chakravarti की अगर आप बात करते हैं तो he is in a purple patch right now. He is the man to go whenever India needs anything. He is the man to go. Or especially when you have taken 5 wickets in the last game against the same opponents you're going to play in the final, they're going to be a little more worried about him, more worried about him, how to play. They will be more cautious. So you have an upper hand as a bowler because on the first, if you see as a first thing, they will be on the defensive and Varun Chakravarti will be on the attacking, and that's what you want as a bowler, as a player, that you are on the attacking side and the other team is on the defending side.
So I think will they be on the defensive because Ritinder, they also have good spinners. The Kiwis have shown their ability to play on turning tracks. They beat India in India. That was again a shocker. Nobody thought that could happen. It's a very, very different Kiwi batting lineup that we see. That doesn't seem out of place with spin bowling.
Yeah, Anand rightly put in. They don't look out of place. This is the right phrase you have put in because when you are playing against Indian spinners, we have seen many batsmen around the world struggling. But you can't say this about New Zealand. And this is because they have Williamson. I think he's firing all cylinders. You have to see back of him towards Pavilion very soon if you want to win this finale. But yes, India has a very strong spin unit. They are playing with 4 spinners. They are playing in Dubai. Wicket is a bit on the slower side. New Zealand will have a tough task. But yes, as you said, they are batsmen. They are in form. And India can't take them lightly whatsoever.
Well, Rachin Ravindra is there. They're top order in middle order में भी अच्छी they खेलने वाले हैं. Plus, along with the fact that they have spinners too. They've got the likes of Santner, Bracewell, Phillips, who can be quite effective. But is that the difference this time around? That our middle order seems far more comfortable with spin, especially Virat Kohli. It's not turning so much, but the way he's played against Pakistan and the way he's played against Australia, was that very clear evidence of how he is negating spin. Earlier they used to say that Virat Kohli seems vulnerable against leg spin. He seems vulnerable against the turning ball. Has he disproved that? Has he overcome that with his footwork, with some innate ability or preparation, Chaitanya, this time?
Anand, actually Virat Kohli के लिए अगर हम बोले तो Virat Kohli is in prime form now. He has got the form back, and he's a master of chasing and also batting in the one days. I was little surprised the shot he played at 88 because I know him from the childhood. He has played Ranji Trophy with me. He has done everything with me. So he's the man, you know, who doesn't look to play in here. And around when it is 88, अगर आप देखते हो तो उस टाइम पे राहुल ने भी बोला कि यार मैं मार रहा था, आपको क्या जरूरत थी. But he went for a googly, he thought to finish it off quickly. बट मैं पाकिस्तान की अगर बात करें तो पाकिस्तान के पास अगर आप देखें तो बहुत ज़्यादा क्वालिटी बॉलिंग इस वक्त है नहीं. सो आई डोंट कंसीडर दैट मच. बट ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अगेंस्ट जिस तरह विराट ने बैटिंग करी, दैट वाज ऑसम. इट शोज दैट विराट इज बैक. एंड येस, यहाँ पे एक बड़ा अच्छा कॉन्टेस्ट होने वाला, वो होगा सेंटनर. जैसे आप बार बार सेंटनर की बात कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक सेंटनर विल बी द की, बिकॉज इफ यू सी he is a very, very good quality bowler. He is the man who can change the game on his head, because he can bowl slow. He even in the T20 also he bowls slow balls. He gives flights. He dips the ball. So the guy who can do that in T20, who had the guts to do that in T20 format, he can do that in one days. But as you said, बेस्ट बात क्या है हमारी टीम की कि हमारी टीम में इस बार आप देखें तो हार्दिक को, केएल को, सब श्रेयस को, ये सब ने बैटिंग करी है पूरे टूर्नामेंट में. दे आर इन गुड फॉर्म. नॉर्मली क्या होता है कि कई बार आपके टॉप ऑर्डर्स बहुत अच्छी फॉर्म में होते हैं और नीचे वाले एक्सपोज नहीं हुए होते. बट एवरीबडी हैज बैटेड हियर, एवरीबडी हैज शोन दैट दे आर इन गुड फॉर्म. सो इंडिया इज नॉट रिलाइंग ऑन एनीवन राइट नाउ, ओनली वन पर्सन. दे आर प्लेइंग एज अ यूनिट, विच इज द बेस्ट थिंग. इफ़ यू थिंक अबाउट, आपने बोला न्यूजीलैंड, अगर स्पिनर्स की बात करते हैं तो न्यूजीलैंड की एक अच्छी चीज़ क्या होती है, अगर आप न्यूजीलैंड को देखें तो वो ज़्यादा स्वीप खेलते हैं. अराउंड 50%, अदर टीम्स प्लेज 30% ऑफ स्वीप अगेंस्ट इंडिया, बट दे प्ले अराउंड 50% ऑफ स्वीप अगेंस्ट इंडिया. बट जब आप टर्निंग ट्रैक पे बात करते हैं, मैं स्पिनर बात करता हूँ, टर्निंग ट्रैक के ऊपर इक्वल चांस होता है ओपोनेंट के पास भी, अगर उनके पास एक्यूरेट स्पिनर्स हों. बट जब आप स्लो विकेट के ऊपर आते हैं, जहां पे आपका स्किल काम करेगा कि आपको कैसे आउट करना बैट्समैन को, किस तरीके से आप उसको प्लान कर सकते हैं, तो वहां पे इंडिया के पास अपर हैंड होता है. बिकॉज इंडिया के पास ऐसे 4 स्पिनर्स है, 40 ओवर होंगे जिसके अंदर इंडिया के पास चांस होगा. लेकिन अगर आप देखें सामने उनके पास एक सेंटनर है, बाकी ब्रेसवेल वगैरह आर नॉट दैट स्किलफुल बॉलर्स. दे आर गुड बॉलर्स, but they are not even equal
they tend to get help from the pitch if the pitch is turning. That's what you're saying. But I just quickly want to ask you, Chaitanya, how see हमारे जो चारों spinners है, all 4 are different, right? They're not the same. Even if Ravindra Jadeja and Akshar are left-arm spinner, they're not the same. As a spinner, what makes Varun Chakravarti so different? Why is everybody calling him the trump card, Turup Kaika? Varun Chakravarti was the one who got us the back of Travis Head. If you see, and there again Travis को उसने चखाया था. But
actually बिल्कुल. If I talk about my playing days, अगर उस टाइम पे कोई ऐसे बॉल डाल रहा होता कि एज ए लेग स्पिनर ही स्टार्ट्स बॉलिंग ऑफ स्पिन और ही स्टार्ट्स बॉलिंग दूसरा, एवरीबडी विल से यार इसको बॉलिंग नहीं आती. बट नाउ दे आर कॉल्ड मिस्ट्री बॉलर्स. दे कैन बॉल ऑल दे हैव ऑल द वेपन्स इन देयर आर्मरी. सो दे अंडरस्टैंड कि यार ये किस तरीके की विकेट है और उसके ऊपर कौन सा बॉल ज़्यादा चलेगा. अगर आप वरुण को देखें, वरुण इज बॉलिंग एट अ वेरी गुड पेस, बट हिज बॉल इज मूविंग लाइक ही, अगर मैं बोलूँ ना, ही इज़ नॉट अ स्पिनर, ही इज़ अ कटर बॉलर. मेरे को ये जॉन टेरी ने बोला था जब मैं लेग स्पिन करता था कि यू आर नॉट अ लेग स्पिनर, यू आर अ लेग कटर बॉलर. यू हैव टू थिंक लाइक एज ए कटर बॉलर हु कैन बीट अ पर्सन व्हेन ही बॉल्स इन द स्टंप. तो अगर आप वरुण को देखें, वरुण का बेस्ट पार्ट क्या है, ही वर्क्स एज ए कटर बॉलर हु कैन कट द बॉल बोथ वेज एंड ही बॉल्स to the stumps, in the stumps. He goes for LBW, he goes for clean bowled. He have more chances of taking wickets because he's keep attacking your wickets at a good pace. And Travis Head को out करना, Travis Head was thinking कि चलिए this is the time when I can put a pressure on Varun Chakravarti. But Varun Chakravarti इस वक्त जिस mindset में है, जिस तरीके का उनका फॉर्म चल रहा, आई थिंक दिस इज, इफ समबडी गोना अटैक हिम एंड ट्राई टू टेक हिम आउट ऑफ द पार्क और आउट ऑफ द गेम, ही विल बी इन ट्रबल. फॉर मी, इफ आई एम ऑन द अदर साइड, आई विल से वॉच आउट Varun Chakravarti, make 10 overs, 40-45 runs against him and don't lose a wicket.
Then score of every ball, but you don't need to hit him. Score of every ball, but you don't need to hit him out of the park. Keep milking singles, twos, and so that his economy rate is in trouble. You get 45-50 runs out of him plus, if that's possible. Within the Sodhi, quickly before I go to Vimal Kumar on the team news and what they practiced, I just want to ask you how key is critical is Shreyas Iyer to this mix now? Because what's happened in that middle order is that Shreyas Iyer suddenly seems to shoulder this up. So Virat Kohli is hit form, but you have a Shreyas Iyer who's there. He played perhaps his innings, the slowest 50 of his career. That's what he played against this one, the New Zealand in that match. We were struggling and he played perhaps his slowest 50 there. So he's also learned something and he's coming and he's looking very different. Agree, disagree? Let's talk about the batters a bit. Yes. within the squad?
बिल्कुल, आई थिंक यू पुट इट राइटली, ये बिल्कुल ठीक कहा, क्योंकि श्रेयस अय्यर की अडेप्टेबिलिटी बहुत जबरदस्त है, और जैसे उन्होंने बल्लेबाजी की है, अपने आप को ढाला है सिचुएशन के हिसाब से। सो आई हैव अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग फीलिंग, लुक वी आर डिपेंडिंग ऑन विराट कोहली, रोहित शर्मा, हीरोइक्स इन द फिनाले, बट जो ये इनके आसपास गाइस हु प्ले अराउंड, केएल राहुल, हार्दिक पांड्या, श्रेयस अय्यर, इनका रोल बहुत अहम होने वाला है। अभी जैसे चैतन्य ने भी कहा, सेंटनर की अगर बॉलिंग की बात करें, उनके स्पिनर्स की बात करें, उनमें दमखम है, लेकिन भारतीय स्पिनर्स डेफिनेटली दे हैव एज, और श्रेयस अय्यर का जो फॉर्म दिखा है अभी तक, आई एम श्योर ही कैन ब्लेज ऑल सिलेंडर्स, और जैसे कहा जाता है, यूं ही बैठे बैठे जय जयकार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वाले की कभी हार नहीं होती। और श्रेयस अय्यर एक ऐसा लड़का है जिसका करियर की हम बात करें आनंद, इस लड़के की जो कोशिश है ना, वो बकमाल है।
So in the sense, the effort, and oftentimes when he's just looked to fly, take off, injury has set him back. This time around, he seems to have fixed all of that, worked all of that, and then he is in the mix since 2022. He's been having a good run so far. Vimalva, team में क्या हो रहा है? What is happening? What did the team do day before? Day before they said हम chill करेंगे. Thursday was chill. Today, what did they do? Wednesday was victory. Thursday, yesterday was chill. Today, practice.
हाँ, today practice आनंद actually देखा जाए and well deserved. And if you look at India's schedule, ever since they have come to Dubai, they have 2 back-to-back intense practice session, then chilled out, rest कर रहे हैं. So what we say, Chaitanya and Sodhi Saab knows about that, कि workload management is the demand of the modern cricket. But एक चीज जो बड़ी अच्छी है आनंद, आज if you look at the final, Sunday को final है, normally just before the final that's like a optional practice session. So the tomorrow's practice session is just going to be like fielding, catching drill थोड़ा बहुत, किसी को मन है, like someone like Shubman Gill, he never misses the practice session just before the game. Normally सारे players, especially the seniors, sometimes Kohli comes, but today का practice, आज के जो practice session है, that will be the highly intense, जो 3.5 hour practice session where you can see the football session. एक नया game इन्होंने निकाला है, जो fun game है, जो tennis ball से वो फेंकते हैं, helmet पे लगता है catch, वो team bonding session होता है. That's very fun part. Actually, this has been introduced and you can see the players, gelling together, हंसी मजाक, मतलब जितनी theories आप बाहर में सुनते हैं कि ये है टीम में, लेकिन आप actually जब देखते हो, and somehow you get the sense, the likes of Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Ravindra Jadeja, Mohammad Shami, these all 4 legends, living legends हैं, they are playing for the last time probably. I don't say.
Let me quickly ask you this. Some of them, जैसे Steve Smith called time to his ODI career, there is conversation that there are 3-4 players who may think about their ODI careers calling time on it. ऐसी कुछ बात है विमल? खबर बताओ. There's talk about Ravindra Jadeja, there's talk about Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, although Rohit Sharma has said मैं 27 तक कहीं नहीं जा रहा. So clearly he wants to captain the side if all goes well into the next World Cup. So that's there. Virat Kohli ऐसे तो हम जाने नहीं देंगे the way he's playing currently. So that's the story. But yeah, is it possible? Someone like Shami, someone like Ravindra Jadeja, is there conversation about this?
Anand, I think if you look at Indian cricket history or हमारे culture, and these 2 gentlemen knows it better. Even if they have something in mind, they will not do it, because I think they will put that distraction aside. Someone like Sachin Tendulkar did not announce his retirement after winning the World Cup, for which he waited for nearly 6 editions. So I don't think, even if they had the plan, see, Virat Kohli is obviously, I don't think, even in my wildest of dreams, that Virat would be thinking about retirement, because if you look at pedigree-wise, experience-wise, run-wise, form-wise, someone is scoring at the average of 60. Virat Kohli is batting as good as he has ever done. So if someone like today, if you talk about आज 7 मार्च को बात कर रहे हैं, कोई एक खिलाड़ी का नाम डालना होगा कि 2027 अक्टूबर में खेलेगा, तो that will be Virat Kohli. उसके अलावा there will be no one else. So Virat Kohli is there. Rohit Sharma, if you look at Rohit Sharma past 12 months, he has been exceptional. The way he has led Indian team में different culture लेके आए हैं. Correct. Right now, immediately there is no leader in your team. So maybe even the Ajit Agarkar or Gautam Gambhir may ask him, even if Rohit thinks कि नहीं भाई अभी रुक जाओ थोड़ी देर, इंडिया के लिए प्लान करो. And Rohit is somebody, एक चीज तो उसने दिखाया है कि
लीडर्स तो हैं, ऐसा नहीं है कि लीडर नहीं है. हार्दिक है, बुमराह शुड बी बैक इन एक्शन वेरी सून. देयर इज शुभमन गिल who's shown himself metal as a captain, but I think Rohit was very clear that these people need to work harder to earn it. Give the India captain job after they've really earned their keep and their spot in the team. Even KL Rahul is captaincy material and he's been looked at it very seriously. But within the story, do you believe any of these players are looking at signing out on a high if there's a big victory on Sunday, we may see some announcements or some people just backing off and saying, I'm going to take it easy on ODI?
Look, it is very unlikely क्योंकि अभी जैसे विमल भी कह रहे हैं पता नहीं चलता है कि रिटायरमेंट आ रही है नहीं आ रही, लेकिन मुझे नहीं लगता कि if we win the finale also that any retirement will come. And the good part is Anand that we have the leaders. We have Hardik Pandya, we have KL Rahul, we have some good players are coming in at the fringes. Shubman Gill is being brilliant. But जैसे हम कहते हैं ना, एक्सपीरियंस आदमी की तीसरी आंख होता है. तो हमारे पास रोहित शर्मा, विराट कोहली ऐसे प्लेयर्स हैं जो गाइड कर सकते हैं इन प्लेयर्स को. तो जब ये बेटन अपना देके जाएंगे तब तक हमारे जो प्लेयर हैं वो निखर चुके होंगे. बुमराह एक उस मुकाम पे पहुंच चुके हैं जो वो एनी टाइम भारतीय टीम की कप्तानी कर सकते हैं. तो जी हाँ, इनका एक्सपीरियंस हमें चाहिए. जितना लंबा खेलेंगे बहुत अच्छी बात है. एज इज जस्ट अ नंबर. विराट कोहली आज भी जो कोर वर्क करते हैं, जो स्ट्रेंथनिंग करते हैं, वो 22 साल का लड़का भी शर्मा जाए. तो जी हाँ, विराट और रोहित जितना लंबा खेलें बढ़िया है.
भाई उनका कोर वर्क देख के अपने पसीने छूट जाते हैं. एंड द अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम ही डज दैट इंटरवल ट्रेनिंग ऑन द ट्रेडमिल, 1 hour of running, and he's trying to recreate the entire effect of what happens when you're running in between wickets. So it's just amazing, and that's why 64 out of those 84 runs he scored against Australia were also running between the wickets. But quickly, I just want to ask you, gents, on this before we come back onto the final. This whole conversation about Mohammad Shami, where he says that he should be allowed to apply saliva on the ball to give the bowlers a chance at reverse swing. Where do you stand on this, Ritinder Sodhi, Chaitanya, and then we'll go to Vimal? Because the ICC brought in this ban because of COVID, but then they made it permanent. So you've taken and then you've got 2 balls. It's not even the same cricket ball. It's 2 cricket balls on either side. That's happening. So there is no advantage to the bowler. Now you have Philander, you got Saudi, you got other bowlers saying you should allow us to shine one side of the ball as the ball gets older so that we can get some purchase, some reverse. Ritinder Sodhi.
आनंद, इसीलिए हम कहते हैं ना, दिस इज बैट्समैन गेम. बॉलर हैज अ वेरी टफ लाइफ. चैतन्य हमारे सामने हैं, इन्होंने बड़ी मुश्किल जिंदगी देखी होगी बतौर बॉलर. लेकिन जी हाँ, अभी सलाइवा का जो बात हो रहा है, ये देखिए अब ये लॉ है. आप सलाइवा नहीं लगा सकते हैं. रेफरीज की, अंपायर्स की कैडी नजर होती है. अगर आप सलाइवा अप्लाई करेंगे सो यू विल बी अंडर कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट. सीओसी आप पे लगेगा, आप पे फाइन होगा, जुर्माना होगा. तो जी हाँ, शमी ने अपना यहाँ पे जो मन कर रहा है, उनका जो दिल में है, वो बयान जरूर किया है, लेकिन इसके लिए लॉ बदलना होगा. बट हैविंग सेड दैट, he is far better a bowler even if there is no saliva applied on a ball. Yes, saliva helps in reverse swing, but that is not happening. So you have to be very practical, and instead of just thinking and
he's only said that the ICC needs to rethink. Yeah, he's just saying that the ICC needs to rethink. So because see, bowlers भी अब ठीक है, आप थूक नहीं लगा सकते, पसीना तो लगा सकते हैं. There is no rule against putting your sweat. So they will put sweat. Now you can put a lot of magnesium and zinc on your face, and then all of that is going to come onto the ball. So there will always be. आप कैसे भी rule बना लीजिए, we are hardwired as people to how to find out ways how to break them. But Chaitanya Nanda, this saliva bit, does that help? Does that make a difference?
It's I think yes, it does help, but मैं बोलूँगा ये two-way thoughts है, two school of thought of schools हैं. आप देखो, human mankind हमेशा evolve करता है with the time, and if the game has changed and there is some rule that you don't use saliva, obviously you will find other ways. As you said, zinc लगाइए, magnesium लगाइए, you can use that, you can use the sweat. आप इवॉल्व करते हैं विद द गेम. बट अगर हम दूसरा स्कूल ऑफ थॉट देखें तो बॉलर के लिए और डिफिकल्ट होता जा रहा है विदाउट द स्लाइवा, बिकॉज एज अ स्पिनर ऑल्सो इट रियली हेल्प्स अस टू यूज द स्लाइवा. आप देखें जैसे अभी वरुण चक्रवर्ती, आजकल आप एक बॉल देखेंगे, वरुण चक्रवर्ती का एक बॉल है जो ना बहुत जल्दी इन स्विंग की तरह आता है, अंदर डिप करता है, अंदर की तरफ आता है. तो वो बॉल के अगर आप देखें तो वो अपने हाथ को ना थोड़ा सा टिल्ट करके फेंकते तो जाता है. अगर उसके ऊपर थूक लगा होगा उस बॉल के ऊपर, सो इट विल गो मोर एंड इट विल डिप मोर. तो आई थिंक वो ऑब्वियसली वहाँ पे डिफरेंस क्रिएट करता. बट एज ए ह्यूमन मैनकाइंड वी ऑलवेज हमने इवॉल्व करा है विद द टाइम. As a bowler also, as a player also, we have, if there is some rule, we can evolve with it, we can improvise with it. Yes, it takes some time to improvise. आपको न्यू लर्निंग्स लेके आनी पड़ती है, न्यू लर्निंग से आप नई चीज़ें सीखते हैं. तो ऑब्वियसली शमी ने जो उनको ठीक लगा उन्होंने बोला, बिकॉज एज ए ह्यूमन यू हैव द राइट टू से व्हाट यू फील एंड यू शुड ऑलवेज कम आउट विद योर थॉट्स. और उन्होंने ठीक किया वो करके. बट अगर मैं एज ए बॉलर के तौर से सोचूं तो इट इज बिकमिंग मोर डिफिकल्ट, बट एज ए क्रिकेट और एज ए रूल की तरह सोचूं, गेम की नई चीज़ों के लिए सोचूं, तो वी हैव टू इवॉल्व एज ए प्लेयर बिकॉज वी आर प्रोफेशनल्स. We have to move with the time.
We have to move with the time, but the ICC can make a rule. They can also take it back. They can also consider saying, "All right, we're going to rework this and say, okay."
Yeah, when you start taking the rule,
because you've also taken away that single ball, old ball factor, because you've got two balls from either end being used. So you know the ball also doesn't get scruffed up, doesn't get so old. So that again further helps the hardness of the ball remains, and then the batsman still has that advantage. So. You can't take everything away from the bowler.
I agree on that. But Anand, I feel one thing, when you make a rule, yes, it was made. It was made at the time of COVID, so COVID is over. You can take it back. But when you start making the rules, if you start taking them back, then there are many rules which you can go further.
But it came because of a force measure. Otherwise, were they thinking about it? Yes, within the zone.
Otherwise,
जस्ट थॉट. मैं तो अपने करियर की बात करूंगा कि मैंने तो बहुत सलाइवा लगाया, इतना सलाइवा लगाया है कि जब सलाइवा नहीं लगाते थे ना, बॉल स्विंग ही नहीं होता था.
हॉल स्ट्रेप्सिल्स खा के लगाते थे, क्योंकि फिर वो सलाइवा का इफेक्ट अलग होता है.
नहीं, हॉल स्ट्रेप्सिल लगाओगे तो मैच रहेगा और करियर आप.
I think we just lost him for a bit. We'll try and go back to Ritinder Sodhi the moment he's back with us. Yes, he's back. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, Ritinder. Yeah. क्या I was just asking you.
मैं ये कह रहा था कि आनंद, मैंने तो बहुत सलाइवा लगाया है, लेकिन अब वो सलाइवा वाला समय चला गया है.
नहीं, कुछ लोग वो चुई मिंट्स लगाते मुंह में ऐसे च्युइंग गम के साथ साथ, और इसके साथ साथ फिर सलाइवा लगाते थे. उसका असर अलग होता है बॉल पे.
नहीं, उसका असर बहुत होता है, लेकिन उसमें वो अनफेयर टैक्टिक भी हो जाता है. और आजकल तो मैच रेफरीज, अंपायर्स इस पे बहुत नजर रखते हैं. कई बार आप जेब में कुछ लेके आ जाते हैं, एंड दैट इज नॉट अलाउड एट ऑल. आई थिंक दैट इज अगेन दैट कम्स इन चीटिंग द गेम कैटेगरी. तो उससे बहुत प्लेयर्स को बच के रहना चाहिए. लेकिन जी हाँ, सलाइवा की जो बात कर रहे हैं ना, अगर ये क्रिकेट में दोबारा आ जाए, बॉलिंग में दोबारा आ जाए, तो बॉलर्स को बहुत एडवांटेज होगा. आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं बॉलर्स आर ऑन डिसएडवांटेज, बिकॉज बहुत कंडीशंस ऐसी होती हैं जहां पे आपको पसीना ही नहीं आता है, बहुत ज्यादा रफ होता ही नहीं है, एंड बॉलर्स हैव टू स्ट्रगल और उनको बहुत मार पड़ती है.
So you're saying that somewhere you have to try and give something in it for the bowlers. I know of players who were very smart. To escape scrutiny, they would chew and eat off the lozenge or whatever they had in their mouth. So they had nothing in their mouth when they were applying the saliva. But the saliva did contain all that they had eaten. So there is gamesmanship that also happens. Vimal, has there been any conversation? And then, there are people who are trying to make comments about Mohammad Shami and this is Ramadan, etc., etc. Has that affected the team? Has there been any reaction about all that in the team presser?
No, I don't think so, Anand. And this is very interesting debate which is going on, which I think Shami has rightly raised that issue, because for too long bowlers have been suffering, Anand. If you look at, you just have to empathize with the bowling community. And I think what has happened, not only Shami has spoken about using the saliva back again in cricket field. He has been supported by some of the big names. I believe if Jasprit Bumrah's word will carry a lot of it. If Jasprit Bumrah also joins this debate and says something like, because Shami is not an ordinary bowler. He's one of the craftiest bowler. Maybe if you talk about his skill and craft, he's as good as Jasprit Bumrah. Maybe he doesn't get that kind of recognition or the kind of respect or reverence which Jasprit Bumrah gets. But at the end of the day, if Shami has spoken, it's not just Shami. You believe that's the thought of Indian cricket team, because it's just not like an Indian cricketer comes in the press conference and just says something like just.
No, but I think you ask any bowler, anything that will help them get some more purchase and give them a little bit of an advantage in a totally batsman's game, they will say yes to it. And it's not often that it's the bowler who applies the saliva. It's the players also. As the ball gets passed on, there is more and more saliva just to make it a little heavier, shine one side of the ball, get some of that reverse swing going, because you need something there in purchase when you are the one who's trying to restrict a team and you've got the ball in hand. But I also want to ask you, how are the conditions right now? Is it changing in Dubai or is it still the same, Vimal? Is
Yeah,
there
the
due?
conditions you are saying.
Conditions. Is there due? Is it going to be a fresh pitch that's being prepared for Sunday? Because like in the Australia game, it was a different pitch. They brought a different part of the square. So are they prepared, readying another part of the square for the Sunday for the final?
There are Anand, 5 pitches were prepared for Dubai land, and obviously 4 have been used. There was a policy that there should not be cricket. The pitch should not be used for. There was at least 15 days gap as far as preparation was. So the last tournament which happened here was ILT20, and after that, there were rest for 15 days. So all the 4 pitches has been used, and I believe not 100% confirmed, but I believe the final will be played on the first fresh pitch. So
So it'll be a fresh
Or
pitch because the
maybe we are just
behavior of
getting-
the pitch was very different. The Australia game, the pitch looked as if it was far more run friendly. The Aussies could not accelerate because they lost wickets. But within the Sodhi, you think this time around in the final we may see 300 breached at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium? It's not happened. 300 has not been breached here.
unfortunately, not.
Look, it looks
I don't see
difficult
that.
because wicket is on the.
Okay, Ritinder Sodhi, and then we'll go back to Vimal in a bit. Yeah, Ritinder Sodhi, Chaitanya, and then.
Yeah. It looks difficult because wicket is not very conducive for batting, for stroke playing, to play upright shots. यहाँ पे आपको बहुत अच्छी technique दिखानी होती है. You have to play on the merit of the ball. The middle overs are very important from 20 to 40. वहाँ पे बहुत ये game बनता है. कैसे आप middle overs खेलते हैं, जहाँ पे श्रेयस अय्यर का knock बहुत important हो जाता है. जब हम बात कर रहे थे, उन्होंने कैसे adapt किया, एक slow inning खेली, लेकिन पारी को आके संभाला. So that is the key. I think that is where New Zealand will also pull up their socks because they know if they play middle overs well, those 40 overs which spinners will be bowling, that is where New Zealand want to make a mark. If they struggle in those middle overs, जहाँ पे पिच स्लो होगा, आप 300 तो यहाँ शायद नहीं बना पाएंगे, लेकिन 260-70 भी एक फाइटिंग टोटल हो सकता है. If New Zealand batting first, they would eye 270, 280, and then if they bowl well, if they can keep batsmen of India quiet, especially Virat Kohli and Hardik Pandya in this form, then they have a chance. But yes, having said that, it's very important कि don't look for 300, be adaptable. अगर 250 से भी मैच जीता जाता है तो उस तरह बल्लेबाजी कीजिए कि 250 रन तो बने. कई बार आप 300 करना चाहते हैं और आप 170 पे ऑल आउट हो जाते हैं, तो वहां पे दोनों टीमों को सतर्क रहना होगा.
Right. So 270, 280 is a defendable total, is a challenging total on this turf. Vimal, I'm just going to check if Chaitanya is there and then quick round of building up. Okay, yes, Vimal. You're saying that 300 will still be difficult.
I don't think. If you look at the history of Dubai, traditionally it has never been 300 plus, especially if you look at recent history and the kind of pitches so far we have seen in this tournament. And I think for some fine ODIs you don't need 300 plus wicket. This is I think best sporting wicket if you can term it. Like all these pitches, you got Mohammad Shami 5-wicket haul, Matt Henry 5-wicket haul, the spinners getting 5-wicket haul. Varun Chakravarti getting 5-wicket haul.
Batsmen getting 100.
Gill getting 100. Kohli getting 100. Shreyas Iyer getting quick 50s. So I think there is something for everyone. This is more like a display of skill and craft. So I don't think you should complain. It's a typical like 90s kind of wicket where you have to earn your wicket. There is not like unlike Pakistan where the moment you win the toss and you hit like what New Zealand did 360. You just take the game out from the opponent because it's just so difficult. Out of 10 times.
So you're saying this is right for competitive cricket, but it's not a runaway, run fest kind of thing that you just see the ball, hit the ball kind of game. Finally, gents, quickly, I got to wind up. We still have time for the final, but what are you thinking? Quickly, Chaitanya, unchanged side, what should India do if they win the toss, and who do you see winning right now as we speak?
I think if India wins the toss, they should chase because they have a chase master, Virat Kohli, with them. Everybody is in form. And it's going to be a new fresh wicket. This time it's going to be a fresh wicket. It's not going to be the same wicket. And I think it will play better because it will be a new wicket. And I think putting a target in front against Kiwis, they have a good batting lineup. But if you see, we talk about their bowling, in the bowling they have one or two good bowlers. Not everybody is as skillful as everything. So I think win the toss and chase.
And you think we've got it in the
and
bag?
India is winning the championship.
So we're going to be unbeaten. Ritinder Sodhi, quickly.
Yeah, I think we should chase unchanged side से ही जाना चाहिए because it's a winning combination. अभी विमल ने बहुत अच्छे लफ्जों का इस्तेमाल किया. ये विकेट टेस्ट ऑफ स्किल है. यहाँ पे आपको लड़के रन बनाने होंगे. चौके छक्के आपको मिलेंगे नहीं. जहाँ पे शुभमन गिल, रोहित, विराट का रोल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. और जैसे आनंद हम पंजाबी में यहाँ कहते हैं ना, इक्की दुक्की तक दवांगे, लोड पई ता न्यूजीलैंड नु तक दवांगे. So we are winning.
Very well said. विमलवा, तुमसे तो मैच से पहले बात होगी तो then we'll talk to you at that time. I've run out of time. That's why. So,
No worries, no worries.
but let's just hope that Rohit Sharma comes to the party. उनका एक ड्यू है. So we are just hoping that happens. Thank you very much. Always fun talking cricket with gents. Thank you very much. We're going to take a very short break. When we come back, we've got news coming through on how these illegals coming in from Bangladesh into our country can become a huge national security threat, because there could be terrorists entering Bharat that way. Stay with us.